Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's Lydia with Lydia's Laptop Life. And tonight I have a little presentation I'm going to do to help everyone who's curious about how to use the internet to make money and have time freedom and location freedom and use their laptop as a workspace. I'm going to go through what I've learned over the past 15 years. So let me dive in to my presentation and I'll get started. Okay, just a second. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Okay, so right now I wanted to talk about how to make the internet work for you. I initially did this on a Zoom call and I wanted to share it on StreamYard here. So basically, our greatest commodity is time. Would you all not agree? Time is a finite amount of time out there. And so I did a definition of commodity for you: a useful and valuable thing, such as water or time. This was the definition online. You might use it in a sentence. Water is a precious commodity, or time is a finite commodity, which means it's limited. We only have a time amount of a certain limited amount of days in our lives. So we have to decide, how are we going to spend them? So in this quick presentation, I'm going to do an introduction of myself. I want to talk a little bit about the history of the internet, which is kind of exciting. I want to talk about the types of online opportunities that are out there that I've experienced over the past 15 years, and then I'm just going to conclude the presentation. So I'll try to be quick because this is the internet and I know people don't have a whole lot of time. So when did the desire be born in me, and what is my why? Why am I using the internet as a way of making money? So a brief background for me is that from 1987 to 1991, these dates are significant. I went through my college years. In 1990, I studied abroad in Italy, and this birthed in me a desire to have location freedom so that I could travel more in my lifetime. And I actually wanted to live abroad, but it's hard to earn money in another country if you don't have a way of getting a job there, especially if it's challenging to speak the language. So I've always had a desire to create some form of income. This was before the internet, so I didn't even know, what would be possible in the future, but I still birthed the desire and the vision. And from 1992 to 2006, I did my typical corporate America experience. And at that point, those years fueled in me my desire to be an independent business owner. So in 2004, I worked for a SaaS software company and I got laid off. So instead of crying about my layoff, I decided this was my chance to finally start my own business. And I negotiated getting my laptop out of the deal and I started my own little marketing company. So this is the moment in 2007 when I actually started to be my own business owner. The challenge that I found in being a business owner like I was is that I was constantly having to try and find clients. But as I quickly learned, there were some aspects that entrepreneurial opportunity did not afford me that I wanted. I wanted location freedom and I wanted time freedom. I kind of had time freedom because I basically did project work for people, for clients. But when I went out of town, I always had to take my laptop and I always had to make sure I had Wi-Fi. So I was never really off and I was not ever on vacation because my clients depended on me. So this made me want to try to find an even greater level of entrepreneurship, one that would offer me time freedom as well as location freedom. So why am I interested in doing an online business? My family. I want to be able to be independently provide for myself, but also for my elderly 87-year-old mother. I want to help her fix up her house, which is falling apart, and pay for her to have a wonderful life. I also want to be able to have time freedom. So whenever they need me, I'm able to go and help them because I'm an independent business owner. The other reasons that I want to have an online business is because of job and financial security. Okay, so when we all went through the pandemic, we realized that if we worked in a place where people had to be served or taken care of, or like in the hospitality industry, all of those places had to shut down. So people who had jobs that required them to leave their house sometimes couldn't go to work. And so they had to scramble and figure out something to do. I don't want that to ever happen to me. So building my own online business is a way to help ensure that I won't have those types of issues with an employer. Also, during the pandemic, those businesses that were already online and doing online business or deliveries, they actually improved their revenues, because I know that Amazon stock was a certain price. I think it was like 1,200 a share right before the pandemic. I checked in February 2020 because I was looking to buy some. And then by April 20, which was 2 months, and after the pandemic had shut down everything, it was 2,400. So the shares of Amazon doubled just in 2 months from the pandemic. So um, the final reason and the why that I'm interested in having an online business is the location freedom. So finally, having the ability to travel and explore the world while still creating an income and being able to work off of my laptop is just basically a lifestyle dream of mine. I have had it for a very long time. We're going on 30 years now. So I want to mention, speaking of 30 years, I want to mention the history of the internet. So the history of the internet is that I did some research, and the internet was basically created in the 70s, but we weren't really using it until the first web page went live on August 6th, 1991. This is like the week before I graduated from college, because I graduated like on August 18th. So this is just such a significant time. How ironic that the internet and the web page live went right around the same time that I was ready to go, back to Italy to live, but of course I didn't have an income. So it was dedicated to the information on the World Wide Web project and was made by Tim Berners-Lee. It ran on a Next computer in the European Organization for Nuclear Research, CERN. So the first web page address was this long URL. That's what I'm looking for. And, now there's so much more simpler for addresses, right? So I want to go over the types of income for the purposes of this presentation. So I'm just going to mention, and I'm not going to talk much about active income. So what that is when you're working a set amount of time for a set amount of money. For instance, a salary, a contract, an hourly wage, a project agreement amount, or a value someone is willing to pay you for your service or your time. So typically this is limited by the hours in a day. Of course, there are case scenarios where you can have a salary plus commission or a base salary plus tips, which means you can have unlimited income, but within the 8 hours, or literally within a 24-hour window, because we all have the same amount of time in our day. But what I want to focus on for this presentation is passive income, okay? So setting up income streams that once you build them, and some of them have an investment on the front end, but they have a way of generating money whether you are working on them or not. That's why they're called passive. So typically passive income streams take time to build on the front end, and that they have some type of investment. But once you've built them, they continue to produce in unlimited ways. The best forms of passive income are residual, and I'm going to define residual next, but they're not restricted by time or hours. So it's important that you think about when you're looking at passive income streams, make sure they're not restricted by time or, hours in a day. Okay. So residual income, this is the key because you want to kind of merge the passive income with the residual income. Okay. You want to find a good opportunity like that. So income that continues to repeat once the systems are put in place to keep that pipeline open. So residual means repetitive. Okay. So typically residual income is not limited by time. So that's an important part of this conversation. So types of online jobs. Okay, so I'm just going to mention again for the purposes of definition, active income jobs where you're working, you can be working for yourself or working for a company. This form is still limited by hours in a day. Okay. Sometimes the active income is unlimited, like I said before, in the case of sales commission. But jobs that you can do online, I'm just going to mention a few. You could be a tech support person. You could be a customer service person. You could be an email marketer. You could do social media creation, content creation, or influencer. But you could be working for a company or even a teacher is an example. You can do teaching online these days. So they all, though, trade their time for money. Okay. They represent not being passive forms of income, but actual active forms of income. Now we're going to dig deeper into the passive income jobs. Okay. So affiliate marketing, and this is something I have experience with, affiliate marketing and sales jobs. A company will pay you to drive traffic to their website. And then when they purchase something, you get a commission for referring that person. But typically, and this is just contingent upon if it's not in the agreement or if it's not like a subscription model, typically it's not residual. In one of the cases that I actually have an affiliate link for the last like 15 years, it is residual. I introduced people to a software and I've been getting paid for it for the last 15 years, basically. So a lot of times the way that you have to get people to go to the link is through all kinds of different ways. You can do paid advertising if it's okay by the website company. You want to look in your agreement about that, or posting on social media to drive your followers and subscribers, your YouTube videos, podcast, email list, or websites. Anywhere you can leave your affiliate links, that's permissible. And the income is typically unlimited and not capped. So that's an important thing to remember. Types of online jobs that are passive but not always residual. You can be an independent or entrepreneurial roles, where this means you're not working for a company, you actually have clients and they are sponsorships and they pay you. So influencer who has built their own network and followers, bloggers, that's someone who writes articles for websites, YouTube channels. You have to have 1,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 hours of watch time before you can even apply to earn ad dollars from Google. So that takes time and you've got to build it. And that's people who want to create viral videos and then get paid ad dollars. This is passive and it's residual. Podcasters monetize with sponsorships, affiliate links, brand endorsements, and paid advertising on your podcast channel. Okay. Now, the other type of jobs that are available are like e-commerce, which stands for electronic commerce store or a website. This is a business model where you sell online. Okay. You can sell subscriptions, memberships, digital products, like books, audio, music, graphics, photography, or sells physical products that you have to coordinate logistics and shipping. Excuse me. Examples are many people know who Amazon is, and I just checked today and they were valued at $972 billion. Okay, so that's obviously a viable business model. So there's a lot of e-commerce companies. You can also be an Amazon affiliate, you can be an Amazon influencer and make money. You can also drive people to their products. You can also have an Amazon store. These are all ways that Amazon wants you to drive customers from your following or the work you're doing over to their website for purchases. Once somebody makes a purchase, you get a commission. So another company that sells subscriptions and memberships is called Match.com, and that's like a dating website, and it's worth $11.5 billion. Okay. The one thing about these companies, though, is that they have a lot of overhead and expenses to create that level of income. They have, like Amazon now has lots of warehouses, drivers, trucks, employees, infrastructure, automation. I mean, it's obviously all worth it because it's a $972 billion company. But I'm just saying that's a lot of time. So what I want to talk about and what I really value is referral marketing business model. This is a business model where you can introduce individuals to a company one time, and when they participate and decide that they want to have their own business, then all the future sales from your referrals offer passive and residual, that's the key, residual income for you. So, traditionally, the challenge with this model is that it is typically difficult to find referrals, or people get bogged down with having to try to get their friends and family to participate. However, there are new opportunities to use technology called AI. I'm sure a lot of you know what that stands for. It stands for artificial intelligence. And there are new advertising methods that use AI, and it's called attraction marketing. And so this is the ability for the technology to find leads for you, either through paid advertising or even through organic content. An example of this online business model is actually the business that I'm doing now, which is called Lydia's Laptop Life. I'm able to help people set up their own online business, all the training, all the community support, all the mentorship, all of that, how to get leads, how to use AI. It's all there for you. And the beauty of it, and the reason I'm doing it, is because there's no experience necessary. It's all provided in the training. So people who want to get into the online space can get into it easily by being trained. Most people who want to be in an online business need to have some experience to get a job in that way. But not with this. You can be an online digital business owner, and all of that is provided for you. So if you did decide you were interested in learning more, you can actually go to my website, lydiaslaptoplife.com, and register for the webinars where you'll actually meet people all over the world who are doing this same business model. So when it comes down time for you to pick what is the right online opportunity for you, you'll have to decide what your whys are and go from there. Remember, time is one of the greatest commodities, so you'll want to pick one that fits with the amount of time you want to spend on the income stream that you're creating. And then the final conclusion is that when you're weighing the benefits and the challenges of each opportunity, you want to ask yourself, do you want your income to be limited by your hours in a day, or would you prefer that they're passive and residual? How about, do you want to manage lots of logistics and customer interactions? This is the kind of thing you have with an online store. You have to have customer service and logistically get the information or the product out to, or the infrastructure out to. Or do you want to have time freedom? So, what are the kind of jobs out there that will offer you time freedom if that's what you're looking for? So, I want to thank you all for your time today and watching my little presentation. If you happen to be interested in learning more about the online business owner model that I'm now helping to teach and mentor people for, with the package that is available from the company that's supporting me in doing that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. But the way to find me is to go to my Facebook page and actually find me by searching for Lydia's Laptop Life. Or if you're on this presentation, you can pause it right now, get your phone, turn on the scan mode, and from the scanner, go and scan that QR code and it'll pull up my Facebook business page. So that's a good way to connect with me. And then you can DM me, direct message me, or private message me any questions that you have. Once you go through the actual process, the reason it's so important for each individual to go through the systematic process of the business owner's opportunity is because that's how everybody goes and gets into the business. So you need to know what the process is if you're going to have this business. So I look forward to meeting you and hope to have you on the other side. And whether you choose an opportunity to work with the Lydia's Laptop Life or you choose something else, I wish you all great success on your journey to make the internet work for you. All right. Let me stop my screen share and we'll say goodbye. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Again, if you want to just jump straight through to getting invited to the webinars, I can tell you my personal experience is that here's my timeline. My friend, she introduced me to the opportunity just by telling me that there was an opportunity, and she invited me to go to her website and put my email in there so I could get invited to the webinars. I watched 3 webinars between December 22nd and January 6th. And on January 6th, I decided to go further with the business. And I went through the process where you go to the coaching call. And I went through the coaching call and I learned more about the business opportunity. And at that point, I saw the light, I saw the opportunity, and I saw all the people around the globe who were making this a viable business income opportunity for themselves for passive, residual, location freedom, time freedom, internet business. And if you're comfortable and good with social media, then you've already got half of the job down, because that's the way you introduce people to this opportunity. So I look forward to meeting you. Feel free to connect with me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, or my YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube watching this video, be sure to subscribe, and I'll be putting more things together to help inform people about the best ways to have an online business. All right. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.